Alright, in this video we are going to see how to create a form that will store its value into a WordPress custom table. So here the custom table is WP contact form. You see the name and the message field. Once you enter these value get stored in this table, and these value can be seen in the custom page which is available on the WordPress dashboard. You can see I have created a custom page called contact entries, and these are the values that was entered by the user. Let's say me pretending to be a user. Let me just type my name and some message, and if I click on send, you will see a custom message. That doesn't matter. Now these values should get displayed on this particular table, and once the data got stored into the table, that value has to be fetched from this table and display in the WordPress custom page, which I'll show you in a minute. It's taking some time. Yeah, you can see the third message, ID 3. This is a message which I have entered in front of you, and now as I refresh this page, you should see the message entered. So this is the plugin that we are going to create. Let's just say the plugin name as a contact form, but we will have a feature of placing our form wherever we want. So this form got displayed with the help of this shortcode. So we have the feature of placing a form wherever we want. This is the first feature, and the second feature is this value gets stored into the custom table, and the third feature is we can see our forms entry on a particular page, which is contact entries. Let's see how to create this. So to make this form work, the first and foremost thing is you need to have a plugin activated. So let me just deactivate this plugin, and let's create a plugin, and that plugin should show up on this page. So for that to happen, we have to get back to our WordPress folder. This is my WordPress folder. Let me just create a new folder. Let's just name it as contact form. So I have opened the folder into the Visual Studio Code. It's recommended to have a file inside it with the same name as your folder name. Now we want to give description about your plugin, like the description, version, and the author and the name. So for that, what we need to do is you just need to write a comment. So this is version, let's say 2.0, a contact form with shortcode. So this is the bare minimum to make your plugin visible in this page. Now you can see contact simple. This is the contact form, and if I click activate, nothing will happen. So when I click activate, there is something that need to happen, which is I want to initialize a table when I click on activate. So let's just do that. So with this function, first of all I need to call a WordPress database object. Let's call that. It's a global WordPress object. With this, now we need to set the table name. So to get the table name, to use the table name, I have used the table name, you can say contact form. We need to get the prefix. The prefix for this table is WP hyphen. This prefix we would have given when we install WordPress locally. So let's just create a table name. With the help of the global object, I have called the prefix, and I have appended the string contact form. Since this is the second one, I'll just name it as contact form 2, or you can say UI monk contact form. Now what we need is we need to get the character set of the database. So the default character set is UTF-8. It is required for data sorting. We don't have to worry about it. WordPress does it internally. Now we need to get that character set. With the global object, it provides a function called get character set collate, and either it's going to be UTF-8 or UTF-8 MB4. Now this is enough. Now we need to create a table. To create a table, we need to give an SQL statement for having this column ID, name and message with the data type and with the auto increment value and mentioning the primary key what it is. Now with this SQL statement we are creating a table with the table name which we have mentioned here, and these are the ID, this is the first column, this is the second column, this is the third column, and we are specially mentioning that the ID is the primary key here. These are the these are the data type. The ID will have only integer value, the name will have the variable character value, and the message is the text, and that's it. The ID should be auto incremented. So once this is done, we need to execute the query. So to execute the query, WordPress gives a custom function. So that function is actually called dbDelta. This dbDelta function is it's an object. It's only useful when you have a custom table created. If you want to query something which is from the inbuilt table, there is a class called wp_query. So let's just call the dbDelta now, because since we have created our custom table. So this isn't enough, we have to mention where the dbDelta is actually located. dbDelta is located into the wp-admin folder. Inside we have upgrade.php. Yesterday I have shown you the location. Now to make this dbDelta work, we have to call the file first. So once your plugin gets activated, you will see, let's just activate it. We should see the table called wp_uimonk_contact_form. Let's just see. Yes, our plugin got activated. Now let's just see whether the table got created or not. And yes, you can see the table got created along with the column. Now we need to create a shortcode where it will display a form. Let's just do that. So this is the shortcode function which will create a shortcode. So this is a shortcode. So let's just change the name to uimonk contact form. Then we have a form with method post. So this is a simple class. It doesn't do anything. Then we have a label, we have a input field, we have a text area, and then we have a submit button. The only thing that we need to focus on is the name attribute, my name, my message, and the my submit. So I have prefixed the name with my, so that we don't get any we don't get confused. Now this is enough to have our HTML show up. So if I click on save, since the plugin is active, if I refresh the page, you should see the form. Let's just change some text. Let's just make this your, and here also your. If it got saved, yes, it got saved. Let me just refresh this. Now instead of if it is our form, then you will see UR. So it works. Now once I click on the submit, what should happen? That data need to get stored on this column, on this table. So let's just do that. Now we need to write a function on submit function. So first of all, we are checking with the submit button if it is set or not. If it is set, this is the PHP global variable which you will get on all form name attribute. So this is the name attribute. Now we'll use the input field value and store it into a variable, PHP variable name and message. And now we need to use the global object, database object, along with the table name, because we'll be inserting the value with this object. Previously we have used the create query. Now it's time for the insert query. Insert the table name which we have already mentioned here, and the name, column name, and the value from the input field. Again the column name, the value from the input field. So if everything goes well, we need to give a success message. Cool. Now let's just refresh this page, and if I say Vishal, this is Vishal's message, click on send. If everything goes well, you should get a success message, and after the success message, that data will get stored on this particular table. And yes, we got a success message. Let's just refresh this page and check. And yes, this is the first value that we got. Now we need to fetch these value and display it by creating a new page over here. So to create a new page, we need to call a function, and that function we need to attach it on the admin hook. So we have already seen this function, add menu page and add option page. Add menu page we have seen yesterday. So this is the let's just get the value from the WordPress itself, so that we don't have to get confused. So here it is. Now this is the page title, and this is the menu title which you will see on the WordPress dashboard, and this is for the capability. So this capability is actually for the user, whether what he can do. He can manage the options. Options is nothing but the WordPress WP option tables key value pair. Now this is the slug. The slug is nothing but you'll see on the URL, and this is the callback function. So let's create a callback function. In this callback function, what we actually need is we will be using the WP DB query to fetch the value. So let's just call that into this particular scope. And previously we have used the create query, we have used the insert query, and yesterday we have seen update query, get var, and today we are going to see get result. Get result will return multiple values and in the form of associative array. So the get result syntax is actually you need to pass the query, and then either it's object, either it's associative array, or either it's numeric array. We can mention it. If it's numeric array, you need to mention n over here, and that's it. This is the straightforward question, the straightforward syntax of SQL. Select all values from the table, order by ID. ID is the primary key, and in the descending order. So whatever you enter last will be shown first. So that's the descending order. Now all the columns are inside this data variable. Now we need to use for each and display the HTML in the form of table. Let's just do that. Now first we'll check whether there is value or not. If there is value, we'll check whether there is value or not. If there is no value, then say no entry found. If there is value, then use the for each this data as row, and we have ID, name and message as the column name. Now we need to surround this table data into header and footer. Sorry, table opening and table closing. So this is for table body, and this is for the T body ending. So that's enough. If I refresh the page, you should see the value on the contact entries, and this is the first value that we have entered. Now let's just create one more thing, one more field, and this is some random value. Click on submit, and this data will get stored into our custom table. You can see Batman, and that table value will get fetched on this particular dashboards page. You can see the slug is actually contact entries which we have created, and the value are getting placed in the form of descending order. Descending order means star from big to small, large number to small number. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. Meet you tomorrow with another WordPress plugin. Have a nice day.